Ralatory. My name is Wendy Bedingfield. I'm going to be doing my persuasion speech today on post-traumatic stress disorder. Last week, my brother-in-law, Pete, told his wife that he was going to get out of the military. Of course, she looked back at him and said, "I don't believe you." And he said, "Why?" And she said, "You don't just bleed red, you bleed red, white, and blue." My brother-in-law has been in the military most of his adult life. He has injuries sustained from the service, and he suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. The United States Department of Veterans Affairs has reportedly and openly told people in the medical field, do not diagnose the servicemen and women with post-traumatic stress disorder. They feel like it is too costly, and the money that they're paying out to service members, well, they feel like they don't need to pay that. It's just a diagnosis. It doesn't really happen. Pete has been around long enough in the military to see a lot of things happen. He also has a lot of rage, and it can go from 0 to rage in a matter of seconds. His wife has lived through this, and the family, and it's almost to a point that when she lays down at night, she will wake up with him choking her. And that really, she's sitting here trying to, say, "Hey, I'm not somebody, we're not in the military, I'm your wife." The kids are afraid to walk into a room where he is sleeping soundly because he will draw an imaginary gun and try to kill them because he saw his best friend be crippled due to somebody that shot his best friend. The RAND Corporation did a study that shows over 300,000 people, men and women, suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Mostly it's in the Army and the Marine personnel. My brother-in-law has gone to the VA hospital to get medical care and psychological care, only to end up frustrated and having to pay out of pocket because you get no help. So that's what they did. They paid out of pocket to get him the help they needed, and luckily today he is better than what he once was. If they had not paid out of pocket, he would probably still be in the same state of mind that he was in. MedicineNet.com definition of post-traumatic stress disorder is an emotional trauma, something that you see. It's a highly traumatizing experience, and a lot of people do suffer from it. It is a real diagnosis. Although they would like you on TruthNet.com, they openly tell people to not diagnose these people, to diagnose them with a psychological disorder, a personality disorder, to keep from having to pay the servicemen and women the benefit that they deserve. My brother-in-law does suffer from it. He has a diagnosis from it, but he does not have them diagnose him where he has to go out on the leave, where he can't really do his job. He wants to be a police officer. And if he is diagnosed with that, he will not be able to be a police officer. So you think about, is this really happening in the world today? Is the United States really trying to cover this up where the financial part of it is more of a risk than actually getting people the help they need? It is happening. What can you do to help with it? You can contact your congressmen and women. This is where it needs to start. They think it's just nothing. It's just something that happens and people need to get over it. But it doesn't. It affects their life. It affects their well-being. It affects their family. One thing that they do say, they send people over there every day. Pete is not the same person that he once was. Today, he's a lot different. He watches things. I know we were at a fireworks display, and the sound of the fireworks, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I need to get down." And you look at stuff like that, and people laugh, but it really is something that affects them. Or riding by a trash can or seeing it on the side of the road, you think, is something going to blow up? It happens. It happens to his family. I've heard the family talk about it. And where most people would laugh at that, I see the effects of what's going on. But to really help out, contact your congressmen and women, and they pay a price when they go over there every day. The first shots rang out at the Revolutionary War. Why do we need to settle for these people getting the treatment that they deserve? I think that's something we all need to think about, and I think it's something that needs to be done. Thank you.